Good morning, good evening, and good afternoon, everybody, and happy Thursday. Super excited about being on here with you guys. Today's session is actually all about authenticity. So, interestingly enough, I'll quickly share with you like my thoughts about it and stuff. But before we get into the crux of stuff today, sorry, I'm a little bit cookie. If you're listening to me live, do me a favor, use the hashtag live or use the hashtag replay. That would be super awesome. Was going to say to you as well, if you're listening to me live or listening to the replay, again, do me a favor. I just ask for one thing. Give us a like, share, or comment in the comment section below. If you're listening to me on LinkedIn or on YouTube, now on YouTube, you can subscribe to my channel, of course. And on LinkedIn, you can follow me. And make sure you hit that bell notification, because if you hit the bell notification, then guess what? You'll get notifications every time that I go live. So we're on here Monday to Friday, 9 a.m. UK time. So that's super awesome. Anyway, so let's get into today's conversation. Authenticity, right? So it's interesting because I've had a really interesting week, right? I've done like numerous interviews in my podcast this week, and all of the people are in leadership, running their own business and entrepreneurship and things like that, right? And it's really interesting because I'm a real big believer in the power of the universe, right? You attract who you emit in terms of your energy. So the type of energy you put out, the types of people that you attract, right? I'm sure that you guys agree with me on that. And it's interesting. So I'm really attracting a lot of people that are showing huge amounts of authenticity. Now, there's this kind of like stigma, call it stigma or whatever it is, right? Where leaders and business owners, right, they wear this mark and they try to be someone that they're not. Do you know what I mean? Or they try to copy themselves against somebody else, or they try to be someone that they're incongruent with their personal values or their core values, right? And for me, authenticity is about being real, right? It's about being honest. It's about showing vulnerability. It's also not distorting the truth, right? And how we can relate to people, is so crucially important. Do you know what I mean? And, guess what? Like, from my perspective, I'm not here to appeal against everyone. I'm not here to make judgments again. I'm not here to compare myself to anybody else. But there's a lot of people out there that do that, right? Now, in corporate, for example, if you're a leader of running a business, small, medium, large firm, doesn't really matter. There's this stigma, especially around corporate, because I used to working with corporations and stuff. And a lot of leaders, they didn't show this authenticity, right? There was this real disconnect between who they were outside of work and who they were in work, if that makes sense. And there's just this real incongruence, and people are really beginning to pick this up now. And I think one of the things that, and let me give you a couple of examples. So yesterday I had an amazing interview with a lady called Rachel Pedersen. Now, Rachel has over 1.7 million followers on social media. She's big on TikTok, like 1.1 million on TikTok alone. And one of the posts that I saw on her Instagram, actually, it was on her Instagram account. And, she talks a little bit about, she talked in her post about having the biggest highs in her week, right, in her career, but she also had the biggest lows, right? And the picture was, or there was a number of pictures, right? It was her crying. And it was like showing emotion, so showing like, running a business isn't easy, right? And it showed real humility. It really showed a lot of authenticity that, we're all human beings, okay? I'm a human being. I have thoughts. I have feelings, just like you guys. And I think it's so important to make sure that you've got that real connect. Another really great example actually is a really good friend of mine, Lisa Johnson. I mention her quite a lot because, and the reason for that is because she's not afraid of being honest. And what I mean by that is that, there's a lot of, should we say, incongruence about how, certain people work in our industry, especially in personal development. And, she's just being her, right? She'll call out people's BS. She'll share her opinions. She's truthful to herself, right? She's completely congruent with her values, and she's really self-aware. So that, again, is a really good example of, showing authenticity, relating to people, and showing that honesty. I think it's important that we as leaders and as business owners, right, it's important that you show that human element of you, if that makes sense, right? So let me give you a couple of tips about how a number of tips about how you can show up more authentic, right? Number one is lift that bloody mask off of yourself. Stop trying to be someone that you aren't. Just be you. People buy you for who you are in terms of your core values, in terms of your characteristics, in terms of your personality. Try to be you. Don't try to fit yourself into the norms of what you think society sees you or doesn't see you. Be you. Just be you. Okay. Number two, be honest, right? We all have struggles in life. We have good days and bad days. Like this week for me, I'll be honest with you, I'm completely transparent. I've had some good times this week, right? Like I've had some really great conversations. But on the spin to that, I've also had moments of feeling a little bit down. Not just feeling down, but also like kind of, I guess you just go through the motions. Maybe that's to do with my mental health. I don't know. But I can tell you now from my perspective, like, hey, I still struggle. There we go. I said it. I still struggle, right? So that's the second thing, is just being open and honest with people, right? And number three, don't always jump to conclusions about just because what other people post doesn't really, relate to what's reality, because at the end of the day, what I see on social media, especially social media, is a great playground. And you'll see it all the time about how wonderful and how great people are doing. But in reality, they're not being as authentic and as honest as they'd like to be. And I think that's like super important, right? You've got to look, and I guess my other tip is be relatable to people. Okay. I'm a very grounded person. I believe I have lots of self-awareness, and I know of my core values, and I live by them every day. I never, ever are incongruent with my core values. And having your core values as well, which is really super important, by the way. Your core values is a reflection of who you are as a person. It's not about what you say, it's about what you do in terms of your behaviors. So anyway, I wanted to kind of like jump on here and share my thoughts. I'm actually going to be writing an article about authenticity actually on LinkedIn. So if you get the opportunity to subscribe to my LinkedIn newsletter, I'm going to be going in a little bit deeper in terms of the authenticity and what we need to do to show that vulnerability, to show that we can relate to people on a human level and things like that. So really super excited about that. Anyway, so if you guys are listening to me live, use the hashtag live, as I say here, and use the hashtag replay. I was going to say to you, what we got here. Yeah. And like I said, if you're listening to the replay or whatever it is, you give us a like, share, a comment in the comment section below. I'd love to know what your thoughts are about today's subject around authenticity. It's been a bit of a whirlwind this week. We've got so many great things happening. And if you don't know or haven't already subscribed, please do me a favor and subscribe and listen to Game Changers Experience, which is our podcast in the top 2.5% global rankings. Anyway, listen, enough from me. Hope you're well. Happy Thursday, and speak to you soon. Take care. See you tomorrow. Bye.